Hey everyone! Welcome back to a new video, and if you're new here, welcome! I hope you enjoyed this video and that you stick around. Grab a snack, get comfy, and let's hang out for a bit while I'm paint. So, today we're doing a sketchbook spread. Big surprise, right? No, but seriously, I've been working on this sketchbook for months and I'm so close to finishing it. I think I only have a few pages left. I really want to complete it because, as I mentioned in my art goals for 2025 video, I went a little overboard and bought over 4 new sketchbooks, and now I'm just itching to start a fresh one. You know that feeling, right? When you're halfway through a sketchbook and suddenly all you can think about is using a new one? That's me right now. I haven't decided which one I'll pick next, but I kind of want to go for a bigger format, something close to A3. I usually work in smaller sketchbooks because they're easier to carry around, but sometimes I miss having a big canvas to just go wild with. It's a completely different experience, and I feel like it lets me more expressive with my brushstrokes. Does anyone else feel like they get attached to a sketchbook, but at the same time they also get tired of it? Because that's exactly what's happening to me right now. I've been using this one for so long that I just want to fill it up already and move on. It's kind of funny because in the beginning I'm always so precious about new sketchbooks. I don't want to ruin them with bad drawings, but by the end I'm like, I don't care. Let's just fill these pages up. I actually have so many sketchbooks from over the years. Some are tiny, some are massive, some have super weird texture paper. I really love experimenting with different types of paper because it changes the way I draw. I feel like smooth paper makes me more careful and controlled, while rougher paper makes me more loose and expressive. It's really interesting to see how much the surface you work can affect your style. I'd love to show you guys my full collection someday, but the problem is that most of them are at my parents' house, along with a bunch of my old art supplies. Every time I visit them, I go through my old sketchbooks, and it's always such a nostalgic feeling. I can literally see my art evolving through the years, and it's kind of surreal. Anyway, I'm getting a bit off track. Let's get back to today's video. So, originally, I had a completely different plan for today. I was going to film something else entirely, but then I started looking through some old travel photos from my trip to Japan last year, and I noticed how beautiful the packaging designs were. Like, even the most basic snacks have the prettiest, most colorful wrappers. And I thought, why have I never drawn this before? So that's what we're going to do today. We're painting Asian snack packaging. I've always been fascinated by product design. I feel like packaging is such an underrated art form because it's everywhere, but we don't really pay attention to it unless we're specifically looking for it. When I was in Japan, I remember walking through convenience stores and just staring at all the snack shelves because the designs were so unique. They have such a fun and playful aesthetic. Lots of colors, cute mascots, shiny materials. I could spend hours just admiring the details. So for this spread, I picked a few grabbers that I found particularly interesting and decided to recreate them in my style. Quick disclaimer, the writing on these packages is totally random. I made it up. I don't speak Japanese, Korean or Chinese. So instead of trying to copy the real text, I just invented some scribbles that look like they belong there. My focus was more on the colors, textures, and lighting rather than getting every little detail perfect. One of the biggest challenges was trying to make the grabbers look like plastic because I don't usually draw reflective materials like this. So I really had to pay attention to the little highlights and creases. If you look at plastic packaging, you'll notice that the way light bounces off it is super irregular. Some areas are completely shine while others are almost transparent. It's really fun to study. Also, I love drawing folds and creases, so this was right up my alley. If you've seen my character art, you know I spend way too much rendering fabric folds. There is something so satisfying about painting little wrinkles in clothes, or in this case, snack wrappers. Another reason I was excited about this video is that I hadn't used gouache in a while. I usually sketch with pencils or acrylic markers because they're quick and convenient. But sometimes I miss the feeling of actual painting. There is something really meditative about mixing the colors, setting up your palette, and slowly building up layers. I'm using the Meeden Gouache set today, the same one from my travel art kit video. I mostly use it for quick sketches when I'm on the go, but I never really gave it a proper test in a full painting, so I figured why not to do that now? I also have the Heyy Gouache set, you know, the one that comes in little jelly cups. I love it, but the problem is that I don't use gouache often enough, so the paint dries out or even gets moldy. Yes, that actually happened to me once and I'm still traumatized. That's why I think tubes are more practical for me. You can control the amount you use and they last longer if you store them properly. Before painting, I always like to lay down a color base layer instead of working straight on white paper. It helps me avoid the fear of the blank page, and it also makes the color pop more. I usually choose complementary colors, so if I'm painting something blue, I put an orange base underneath. If it's green, I go with pink, and so on. it's a little trick that really makes a difference in the final result. Another thing I've been experimenting with is using colorful shadows. Instead of just darkening the base color, I used to rely on multiply layers on Photoshop, but now I try to think more about how shadows actually work. Shadows aren't just darker. They have temperature and hue shifts depending on the light source. It's one of those things that completely change the way I paint. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun working on this, and it reminded me how much I love painting. Most of the time I just sketch with pencils, but every time I pull out my paints, I remember how relaxing and satisfying it is. Let me know what you think. Do you guys ever feel like you get stuck in a routine with your art supplies? And also, do you think having a consistent art style is important? Or do you prefer to experiment with different aesthetics? I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!